1, 2, 3. So, off to a pretty wrong start today. The person that owns the business I work for is screaming, we don't have customers, we don't have anybody. So and it's like he doesn't give you any help. He just thinks you should be able to find them and do everything else on your own. He hasn't established a foundation for marketing advertising. It's just all random acts. At least there's no policies in place, there's no documents, there's no manuals, there's no guidelines that he has. And if you do give them to him, he doesn't follow them anyway because he doesn't understand them. Anyway, I'm at the end and I have nowhere to go. I'm so sick of trying in this world. Like, I'm just so sick of trying. But let me explain. I'm so fucking tired now. Like, so about 2 months ago, I went up to this park and I noticed there were like 60 kids up there just running around, and someone was trying to coordinate them. And turns out they were from a language school a little bit further up north of Pattaya. And they're doing really well. Like, and I said, wow, you got like 60 kids. One guy was there, like an older foreign guy. I said, what are they? They're just running around witches' hats. And he goes, what sport is it? He goes, oh no, it's App English school or something. I forget, Ab or something, English school. I forget now. But anyway, I was saying, yeah, this is so true, because I saw the same thing in Japan. I've heard people guys at the gym were telling me in Korea this is the hot stuff. And so I said, yeah, this is a good idea. Now, yesterday I said to this guy, you want more clients. You're not going to get them by telling them to come to a classroom for 2 straight hours, especially 5-year-old kids. I've seen them leave tired. They're exhausted. They're like, what did I just do there? Some do well, sure, but like, how boring and how unimmersive. It's like, just get in front of a textbook and read it. Like, there's no immersion. There's no experience. There's no experiential learning. And you got to have them leaving happy. And I'm sure some of them love it, but they're going to have a greater experience than just sitting in a class 2 straight hours. And I'm thinking, how does this guy think that a 7-year-old can sit for 2 straight hours and not squirm? He even has a kid. Doesn't he know? Maybe he was, I don't know. But he's 75 years old. His brain's calcified. He knows the legacy systems. He uses Duke management system on the computer, which is broken. The mailing list. The girl can't write emails. She can't do it. I went through a list of that they've had for probably 15 years from this management system. I don't know how long, 12 years. There's 600 entries. I found out that only 12 of them had the correct information. That's like 1 in 50. Never thought to fix it. You've just lost all your clientele. You didn't create mailing lists or anything to keep the community active. Like, I'm just thinking, you call yourself the business development manager, you can't even get a fucking email list right. Like, what's wrong with you? But at the same time, all the legacy systems, the old, there's no consensus building, there's no collaboration apps like Slack, Zulip, Asana, like where you can all talk together, unless it's just the smartphone communication, which sucks. And it's also always, no one really replies to him. I think that they've learnt don't ever say anything different to what he says, because he can't really understand it. But the other thing is that on the side of the legacy applications used, like there's no file sharing. It's just send me the file. But yeah, but I can edit it live. So if you send it back to me with all these other changes, I have to then delete the original and put this one in there. We should just collaborate on the one Google Workplace. I don't understand what you're talking about. I don't do that. Yeah, fucking hell. Then fire yourself. It's 2025. It's not 1995. But also the mundane tasks. I don't think this language school can develop further, because the culture is mundane tasks only. There is no change. Like, your marketing, advertising, promotion has failed for 5 years. So he starts telling the teachers, you have to come up with better ways to get students. Okay, change your marketing, advertising around a little bit. Clean it up, make the images look better, the videos look better. It's not gonna, there's no change. Goes back straight to mundane tasks. It's like this guy would tell someone to make him a Christmas cake, and he'll give you 1 egg, and you'll say, well, I need a little bit more than that. No, you don't, you can do it. You know, it's up to you to make it with this egg. You know, that's the kind of attitude I think he has. I think it's simply because he probably got in when there was still less competition, and you find this a lot less competition here in Thailand, in Pattaya. Excuse me, I've got something in my throat. It feels like it's scratched or something, but so he didn't have to compete, but now there's a lot more players. He has to compete. He can't, because it's calcification. The legacy systems and the mundane tasks are so entrenched, are so institutionalized, they've become calcified, and you can't break it off. You can't change it without chipping it off. But of course, he's the owner. He won't remove himself. I came up with a solution. All right, let's do Space Ninja Kids. Get the kids out to the parks in the target language, so we make it a little English thing, whatever. Get them exercising, moving, having fun. You know, talking, you know, collaborating with each other, supporting each other. Let's do this. It would be so much fun. It'd be something I would love to do. Because his brain is so calcified, he can't think outside of this box. Everything has failed for the last 2-3 years here, since COVID especially. And what does he want to do? Go back to what has failed for the last 2 or 3 years. Because you can no longer energize your brain to think of new methods, new modes, new ideas. It's just not happening. You know, and I need to change, but I need to get out of here. But the problem is my visa is all tied with him, and I know what he's going to do. He's probably going to walk into the office very quickly and say, oh, we don't need him. So I'm going to be absolutely fucked here. Like, I have no passport anymore. I think I have 1 page left. You need 2 pages left for stamps. But every single time you change job, you have to leave the country and come back. It's so fucked up. I don't have anything left in me. And I can't afford to go back to Australia. I realise that. I can eat really healthy, good food here. I can't stay here now. He just said, oh, why don't you just get an education visa and stay here and do it on your own? And I'm like, I've spent the last year trying to stay here and work something out here, and that's what I've been spending my money on. You know, it's like he doesn't have a concept of anybody else's pain. You know, he's autistic. He's on the spectrum, you can tell. You know, he's had a stroke as well, I think, because one eye's a little bit up. And yeah, he used to be an accountant, but he's analytical, but he's not very, he's not inspirational. Oh, he's just a waste. He's just wasting everybody's time because he doesn't have any initiative. He's already got his big pension payout because he's 75 years old, so he's doing well for himself, so he can't see what other people go through. Other teachers have complained to me. They've said, yeah, he's so out of it, like he just doesn't know what's happening. And also the one person that speaks Thai, she said he has no idea what the Thais say about him, because if he did, he'd fire them. But they just say, oh, they don't have any care. As long as his wife's not there, they'll talk about him. Yeah, so I'm tired. I'm tired of trying in life. I'm tired of trying to pick myself up and try and put something together. And now I've got to, and there's other problems now. There's no support. There's no inventiveness. I am like the fittest 46-and-a-half-year-old I have seen in where I am, in Pathway Alright, without using any performance-enhancing drugs. Why wouldn't you exploit that? It doesn't make any sense. I've already explored to get that on the work permit. It's like nothing. But he just can't do it. Just his brain is so calcified that he can't go. But anyway, I don't know what to do now. I'm just tired. I'm tired of trying and failing. I'm trying to make something. And finally thought I found something that would be really enjoyable and ultimately super scalable. He won't even fucking try to scale his business because he's not the one that suffers from his decisions, other than having to spend his own money on the business. Like, well, how are you going to attract people if you do the same thing over and over again and nobody wants it anymore and there's too much competition out there that is better than you? Because they have organized plans, training. You have nothing. You have basically a chiefdom, and each individual teacher does their own thing, uses their own apps, uses their own plans. There's no consensus building, there's no collaboration, there's nothing. Because if there was, he wouldn't be king. He'd be able to dictate to everybody what to do. And people, even the teachers say, I just do my own thing. He just gives me the visa every year and takes money off the top, you know. Anyway, I'm tired. I've got so much to do now just to try to save myself, but I'm just like thinking, you know what? Why bother? Why fucking bother anymore? It's just not worth, it's not worth trying to save yourself sometimes. It's best just to go with what's supposed to happen, you know, because I'm fucking fucked. I can't fucking think anymore. I'm just dead. I can't keep fighting everything, you know, and then he complains that, oh, you weren't completing your PhD and you weren't doing the TEFL. Well, there was no fucking inquiries for that shit and I couldn't do the PhD when I'm here. It's just too much shit going on. There's no support. You know, if you're trying to do research, you need to clear your head, keep everything out of it, and then concentrate and sit at it. You can't be up here actually doing achikochi in Japanese, here and there doing something and fucking shit happens and you got to do everything yourself. It's just impossible when there's no support. Then again, I really just do not want to be here anymore. I just don't want to be here in this world. I just don't want to be here anymore. I'm just so sick of it. It's just too difficult. Too difficult to try to make anything of yourself. Some people get it and some people don't. And those that still believe in themselves, they get fucking smashed down and hit with hammers and bricks until they die. You know. I don't know what to do anymore. I'm just gonna have to give up. There's really nothing else I can do.